I'm gonna throw out another truth, Josh. Happiness and depression, they're both lies.
Wow.
Jordan's messages.
Sponsored by Squarespace.
Josh, I had this huge burn pile, okay, just this massive burn pile, and I burned it the other day, finally. You know, you know what, it just goes down to nothing. And I thought, incredible. Everything is just, all these massive, trees, and this has been for 6 years. And you know what? That area is actually lower than the surrounding area because of the erosion.
Wow.
But also when you just burn it, it just goes to literally nothing. That's what I'm going to do for you. You have all these crazy piles of crap just built up in your life. And to me, it's nothing. I just light the fire and it's gone. And then the water even rushes it away so that there's just nothing except grass can now grow there because it's fertile soil. That's what I'm gonna do for you today. Okay, it's a simple blueprint map. I know how to do it, you don't, but that's why you're here. Let's get to the messages. Dear Jordan and Josh, I love my sister. This could go many directions at this point. And I'm always thinking, okay, is this gonna go the pervert route or is this going to go a more wholesome route? Normally it goes the more wholesome route. I wish it would go to the pervert route so that I could have a great title and thumbnail. And that's just sad, Josh. That's what YouTube has done to me. Okay?
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault. This is what they've done. I love my sister, but she's been spending a lot of time with a group that feels cultish. Okay, I can still come up with the title with this one. Before she started hanging out with her new friends, she seemed very depressed. Now she seems happy. So what's my problem? Well, her new friends are a group of siblings which are a part of another homeschool family. My sister goes over to their house frequently to hang out with them and their friends. These kids claim to be Christians, and who am I to question their faith, right? I question people's faith all the time without regard for human life. But and this got me out of a lot of bad situations, Josh. To be quite frank with you, these kids claim to be Christians, but partake in excessive underage consumption of alcohol. The kids have access to their parents' liquor collection and get drunk on a regular basis. This activity is encouraged by their parents and treated by them as a normal thing. Nobody knows about his family's activities because they live out in the middle of nowhere. I think these people are sick. There's nothing I can do. She's convinced that their way of living is fine and that they're the only reason she has to keep living. Sorry. It seems that she's lost her faith too. The other week she basically confessed her agnosticism to me. Our parents are just as worried as I am, but are powerless to stop her because she's over 18. I just want my sister back. What should I do? You know, if parents are like, I'm powerless, they're over 18. You know that their parenting style was just complete trash. Because they're
always powerless.
Yeah, you're always powerless in a way, but when you turn 18, they're like, no, I can't control their lives. That was the problem, you idiot. Come on. It's how many times does it need to happen? How many times do you need to see it happen in other kids' lives? You're not really in control. That's the thing. You're not really in control, and the only way that you're actually in control is by realizing that you're not in control, and then somehow you're kind of in control at that point. The uncontrolledness gives you this freedom that your kids respect and want to be under you instead of this isn't like a dictatorship, okay? And I don't think people are ever gonna learn.
Huh? What?
Yeah, no,
That didn't make any sense.
It's too scary. Let me go back to watching porn. Let me defend my husband who's watching porn. Okay, that's fine. Enjoy that life. Come back in 20 years when he's in the metaverse doing God knows what in the red light zone. Or whatever it's called, Josh.
That's what we call
It's
the red light zone.
The red light zone.
I could see us having a friend that had this exact situation. It just seemed like something we would know. Oh yeah, our friend went out into the backwood hills and met a family who drinks too much and...
Never heard from them again.
You never heard from them again.
And then you see on Facebook, they look like they've aged 30 years and 5.
They have no life in their face.
No, but they were happy. And you know what? So it's weird because like, how could I tell them that they were wrong? Because they seemed so happy at the moment. Okay. I'm gonna throw out another truth, Josh.
Here we go.
Happiness and depression, they're both lies.
Wow.
Look, they both can lead you down horrible paths if you're not living in the truth. What is happiness? What is depression? If you're not living in the truth, it's these arbitrary things. We see where this has led us all. I just want to do what makes me happy. You see what I mean? Happiness is a real thing when you're living in the truth, but happiness can be disregarded when you know that something tough needs to happen, and it's not going to make you happy when that thing happens, but you know that you have to do it. Your compass isn't happiness. It's a horrible compass to live by. It'll destroy your life.
You won't
Happiness,
be happy at all.
no, happiness will destroy your life almost just as fast as depression will. To be quite honest with you, it can lead you down and do horrible, horrible things because of your happiness.
Depression leads you to find ways to be happy, and happiness makes you depressed.
Yes. Now, that's not to say that these things are bad. Obviously, you don't want depression, but you want happy. Look, I mean, there's a thing, like, there's a flip side to everything, and life is constantly ebbing and flowing, but the thing is, are you living in the truth? And your sister clearly isn't, okay, so what are you gonna do? To be honest, your family has pretty much screwed up, just given the fact that they said, oh, she's 18, we can't control her life anymore. Okay, that was the number one flaw, is that statement. There's always a little clue in these messages, Justin. That's what it was, just glaring. So there's pretty much nothing that you can do. Sadly, you can't control anybody else's life. You can't really help anybody else. You just have to live in the truth not in your way, but you have to live in the truth in your life. There is only one truth. Live in the truth in your life, and then when people come back around and they see that, then you can whatever help them out means, but they need to come to that on their own time, and that's the only way that they will sustain anything in their life. And so there's really not much you can do, so don't stress out about it. That's just what it is. She's made her choice, and you've made your choices, and your parents have made choices. They don't need to tear themselves down and destroy themselves. They need to learn from this. Okay, maybe we messed up. Like, okay, I'm not gonna feel guilty the rest of my life because of this. Like, I need to move on the same way that other people need to move on in life. So I think that's the best I can say. Just don't stress out about it. It's sad, it's a sad situation, but stress will destroy your life. A lot of things will destroy your life.
She'll probably get bored drinking in the backwoods at some point.
Yeah, she'll come hobbling out looking for truth again, and you just need to be there doing the right thing. That's pretty much it. Guys, we have finally revamped the BlimeyCow.com website. Go check it out. It's super easy to navigate with updated info about all the things that we're working on. Of course, our site has always been built with Squarespace, so picking a new template and updating everything only took a few hours once we finally sat down and said, it's time to do this. And we made some big updates as well. I mean, it's completely different. It didn't even take that long. Squarespace has flexible website templates no matter what kind of site you want to create, whether it's a blog, portfolio, web store, YouTube channel, or whatever else you want to display or promote. All the templates look great, and you can customize them to do whatever you want. Squarespace makes everything so simple. You can create an online store selling physical, digital, or service products easily. Plus, you can create custom merch, print on demand even, Josh. They even handle shipping for you. It's crazy. So what do you want to build? I want you to listen to me right now, okay? You can do it with Squarespace. It's time to finally build that website you've been putting off. Head over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, go to our link, squarespace.com/cow, because there you're going to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/cow. Now, let's get back to the messages. Dear Jordan and Josh, a few years ago, you answered a message about my cheating father. My husband and I decided that a period of no/very limited contact was necessary. Naturally, both my mom and dad were upset by this, and it took them a couple years to actually respect the request of no contact. Slowly, we began to try to reintegrate them into our lives, first with holidays, then with some birthdays. When we found out our first child was on the way, I began talking to my mom more regularly since I hoped to not exclude her from her grandchild's life. My dad was behaving himself well enough around us, although he still tries to assert his power from time to time, and we never asked about the state of my parents' marriage, since it was none of our business. My brother recently told me about new evidence that my dad is still cheating on my mom. In the same month, he also got an aggressive cancer diagnosis. The prognosis isn't good. Is it a problem that I don't feel bad for him? I feel relieved that my child and future children likely won't have to be around his influence in order to see their grandmother. Okay. Whoa. We're going, I understand, I guess, but like, we're getting into like the hate route. The hate route, that's a bad, see, here's the hate route. Let me explain the hate route to you. See, I gave you, I don't even know what I probably said. You think I probably said, you get away from them. Get them out of your life, sure. Probably. Yeah. I do remember this question. I think that we said something like that. Like, your dad is kind of whatever, you did not have him be too much of an influence in your life, and do the right thing, and blah, 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 blah. You fill in the blanks. I think that that's what we probably said.
Pretty boilerplate messages of advice.
Yes, but we said, I'm assuming, your dad shouldn't control your life with this. This shouldn't. But here's the thing. The hate route does just that. You say your dad wants to dominate and have power over you. The hate route is that power that you're giving him over you. You're hating him and it's destroying your life. And you're like, I hope my dad dies of cancer. I don't even care if he died of cancer. Okay, I understand, like, there's one thing of like, okay, I don't really want my daughter to be around, like, my dad, and is my mom a little weird and like controlling? Is that the best situation for my daughter to be around? Okay, like, honestly, I don't even buy this whole thing when people say, I wanted to go back into this bad situation because I wanted my daughter to have a grandma. That's the dumbest thing. That doesn't even make sense. Like, nobody has been having a grandma isn't a right for anybody. It's not even like that, and that's not always a net positive. You know what I mean? People just think they need the relationship of grandma. That's not always a positive relationship if you think about it. It might feel like it is at times, which I'm not saying it's always bad, but it's not always good either. There can, like, if you feel this kind of this dominance thing that you feel, that's not going unnoticed by the grandchild as well, if you know what I'm saying. It's not just, oh, the grandma relationship. It's like, there's strings attached to a lot of things, okay? So I'm just throwing that as a little caveat. Just, well, I don't even know, take that little tidbit there. So don't fall into that trap. But also, just, look, okay, you need to get out of this hate. You're letting this person destroy your life, okay? They've destroyed their own life, and now they're destroying your life, and you're letting this person destroy your life, okay? This is sadly your fault that he is destroying your life. It's not that he's cheating. It's that you're allowing what he is doing to destroy you. Now, Josh, this is, I would say, if she was like younger and in her home and this is happening, okay, that's like a different situation. But if you're married and you have a kid and your dad's doing this, all right, we're far enough away that the idea, you see what I mean? It's like, he shouldn't have this control over you, okay? If your dad was cheating and you were living under his house, that's kind of, that really influences you and affects you more than we can ever possibly imagine. But if you're out of the house and stuff like that and you're married and everything and your dad's cheating, like, okay, that's bad, but like, this shouldn't be destroying, you have all this hate and he's got cancer and it's like, I don't even care. It's sad that your dad might die in the near future, and I understand that it's like, well, does it really matter? I understand these thoughts. This is a sick world that we live in with this, but it happens, But you shouldn't hate. You shouldn't hate somebody. I don't.
If you're sitting there thinking I don't care if he dies, then you're giving him control. Clearly, you're giving him some power or control over your life.
Yeah.
If you're getting to a place where that's a thought that you would have.
If you wish death on your father because of things, then he has total control over you.
So much control over me that I just want him to die so that I don't have to think about him anymore.
What I'm saying is, if he wants that power, he is getting the power by making you hate him. If you understand, he's gonna get the power one way or the other. So you just have to, I mean, look, like I've said, you just have to live in the truth. And don't, it's hard, I don't even know, how do you do it? How do you not let people influence you? It's hard, okay? But you just have to live in the truth, and bad things happen, and that's just how it goes. And then you just roll with the punches, and you just keep going. And it's sad when stuff happens, but at the same time, it's like, that's life, and I know how to deal with it because I am a truthful, living in truth person. And that is what guides you, okay? It's not this hatred that your father has allegedly put in you. You've let the hatred take hold, and now you're letting it control you, and therefore he's controlling you. So, I don't even know what the question was, but there's the answer.
The end.
I feel like, just tell me this is wrong. I feel like the past 2 messages have been just gold. Bangers. Gems. Prophetic. Biblical. I mean, am I right or am I wrong?
Sounded great to me.
If you want the biggest niche truth bombs that also are the greatest truth bombs with no niche, follow this channel. Follow the messages. Okay? It's the only place you're gonna get this advice. It's the only place. And it's true advice, Josh. This will change your life. This will take that burn pile and burn it down to nothing. And you'll realize, wow, all of these problems, all these trees, these branches, you cut a tree down, you throw it in the fire. It's literally nothing. It's just air. There's nothing there, but somehow I can't penetrate. I can't go through it. But it's literally just empty space. All you have to do is just put a little tiny light on a fire, on one leaf, and it's so dry. You're quenched. You're so thirsty. Just light the leaf. You don't need water. Just light the leaf. You want empathy. You want all this stuff. You want somebody to dump water so you're not so hot. Light the leaf. Burns the whole thing. You don't need water anymore because it doesn't exist. You don't need the empathy. You just need the truth to. It's just this big pile of crap that's just in your yard, and you want it gone. So just burn it up, and then it's nothing. It just goes into the air, and it's gone. And then grass grows, and then there's just a nice field, and life is happy again. Okay? And that's how it goes. Don't be messy, and leave good messages.